We're in the gym right before the Texas Classic weekend. We've got Bailey going through a little bit of a session. As we go through, I just want to walk you through a couple things to watch out for during peak week. As coaches, it's really big, the desire to want to intervene. And there's places we should and places we shouldn't. So as we go through the session, I'll be dropping a few nuggets for you guys to know when to be a coach and make change and when to just let the athlete be an athlete. So we'll dive in a little bit of a modified push today, a couple reps in reserve, and get after it. Good reps. All right, I'm gonna do a set. Would you consider that your first work? Huh? Would you consider that your first work? That's your second? Yeah, okay.
Did you see those black mesh shorts that they're
Yeah.
Some the real ones right here. The J3U over here.
I love it. Good. 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 Awesome. Set 3. What's next after this? Good. Pump. I figured even with just one meal, it would come decently quick. That's depressing. I used to not be able to fit in that.
That's my goal.
You just have to get in it like this.
Yeah.
First thing as coaches, what you're not going to do, you're not going to see me going through and making a bunch of cues and changes to the way Bailey's training right now during peak week. We've had conversations outside of like, what is the work we're going to do after this prep to bring his physique up to the next level? Right now during peak week's not the time to start to try to lay the framework and the groundwork for that. Focus on what the goal at hand is in the show, and then from there, we'll be able to go and make the changes after prep. So one more. How much you want on each side? You picky about quarters? You picky about quarters? Okay.
I call them donuts sometimes.
You call them what?
Donuts.
Donuts.
45 a wheel.
Is that because you're thinking about the donuts you're going to eat on Sunday? Step number 2 as a coach is don't overstep your bounds from leading the session. Just because you're here in person doesn't mean you're doing your session or you're leading the session into something that's not on the client's plan. Drop the volume to 75%, put some reps in reserve, and stick strictly to what the client's been doing the entirety of prep so that you avoid driving up fatigue and you're setting up yourself to land the peak on show day.
My triceps are decently hot by the end of all my chest work. I've just been leaving tricep out.
Okay, that's fine. Then leave it out. Give it a whirl. All right, last point for you coaches is when you do come into the posing room and you do the assessment, there's 2 things you want to make sure that you do. First off, still get your video assessment. You've been assessing the client over video the entire process. Don't change that. You need to have some reference materials as you go through the peak process. And then lastly, you're not drastically changing posing. The things that you've been working on posing-wise throughout the contest prep, you should be reminding them in that session, but we're not making drastic changes in order to keep that client perfecting what they've learned, be able to present that professionally on stage, stage and bring their best package when it comes to the posing presentation to add to the physique that you're putting on stage. So it's peak week. Your role as a coach is to monitor, assess, and make good decisions. It's not to revamp the whole process. If clients need to understand what you're doing, answer those questions willingly, and go through that process in depth with them so that they know each day what's happening, and so that you can bring your next athletes to stage 100% and see if you can beat us on stage.